Hi, boys and girls. Just me again. I know, such a pest. But I want to talk to you for a minute about another thing that you can find in the ocean. I don't know about you, but I like to go to Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut, or sometimes I go up to Boston to the aquarium. But in Mystic, they have the coolest display of seahorses. Is a seahorse a horse? Good question. A seahorse can look like this, and we sent you this word so you would have it. Seahorse. And then I forgot to show you octopus, but I'll show it to you later. And a seahorse can look like this. See him right here. Unfortunately, it's right on the crease there. And they have a picture of a horse. Does he look like the horse? Maybe a little tiny bit with his ears. Maybe a little bit. But horses don't have tails that can hold on to things. They have tails, but they can't curl and hold on. And seahorses have tails. And it's a kind of fish, believe it or not. And it has a head that kind of looks like a horse's head. I'll show you this picture, or you can see it here as well. Kind of looks like a horse's head. And he moves through the water just like that, upright. Can you swim when you're standing upright? You can, but it's hard. You have to keep treading the water, right? But he has a tail. Really cool, huh? So when you go to an aquarium, and if they have seahorses, watch how he has little fins on the side. I think they still call them fins with a seahorse. So, moves upright. He's only about 5 inches long. Remember, we've used a ruler? He's a little less than half the ruler. That's a big concept. See if mom and dad have a ruler. Although most fish have scales, remember we talked about that. They kind of looked like the letter C, and they were kind of hard to touch because they were kind of rough. The seahorse has more like an armor, you know, like Transformers. They look like they have armor on. Or, I know you know the characters. Something like that. They have armor on. And it's like bony plates all over his body. So think about your bones. Remember, we felt our backbone. We felt our bones in our arms. We've talked about bones when we talked about our bodies. Think about that. And it's all over his body. It protects him. And it has a long, long tail that it uses to hold on to things to anchor itself so it won't go away with the sea as the tide comes in and out. And it coils around, kind of like, remember these, the pipe cleaner? Kind of like when we make little circles with it, make little designs. Let's see if I can make one. I don't know if I can. Just making it go round and round and round. If you have a pipe cleaner at home, maybe you can try this. Bet you're better at it than I am because you have smaller fingers. So kind of like that, it coils around. And it has to hang on to rooted plants, things like that, seaweed floating in the ocean. And then, guess what? The daddies hang on to the eggs. The mommies can go off and swim. And he has like a little kangaroo pouch right in here, and he keeps them in there. And when they're ready, they swim away. There's some little ones. Let me show you inside of this. Here is an up-close picture of his face. Kind of scary up close, isn't it? And they like to eat shrimp. So they hold on to the seaweed, and they wait for the shrimp to kind of float by. That's what that little tiny thing in the picture is, a shrimp. And he's gonna eat it once it gets close enough to catch. So they catch shrimp. They kind of, you know, when mom or dad are vacuuming and they suck it up? That's what the seahorses do. They kind of suck it up. And here's that tail coiled around, holding on. And they hold on really tight and wait for that shrimp to come by. And then here's a picture of, I'll fold it in half. Maybe I can hold it better that way. Little tiny seahorses coming out of that kangaroo pouch. Tiny, aren't they? They're really hard to see. One time at Mystic, I got to see them. There were a whole bunch of little eggs that had hatched. So they come from eggs, and then they swim out of the pouch into the ocean. And seahorses can do what octopuses can do. camouflage. So it's hard to see this little green seahorse in here. I can barely see it. And there's one that's blended into the coral. It's kind of a pinky color. And this one is white. So they blend in to the coral around them. So you can't see them and they don't get eaten easily. So that's the story of a seahorse. If you want to make one, you can cut out kind of a shape that maybe looks like this, or look one up on the computer. Maybe you can print one out. There's a book by Eric Carle about a seahorse. And if maybe you have that at home, or you know someone who does, you could borrow it from the library. It's a nice thing to do. But if you wanted to make one, I gave him a big pouch because we're gonna have little baby seahorses. You could make all different colors on them, because the one in Eric Carle's book is more like a rainbow one. It's cool. And you can add some hair like a horse would have, like a mane. You could add an eye. You can add whatever you want. All bony plates. If you want to make them look like a transformer, that's up to you. Or if you have any tissue papers at home, you could put those all over his body, all different colors, or whatever color you like. I hope you have a really good time doing this, boys and girls. I love seahorses. I think they're so cute. Take care. Have a good time.